Hello everybody, I am here again to make another video. Just wanted to say a couple things first off. You're going to have to forgive me here. I might sound a little bit plugged up, and that's because I am. Just a little bit plugged up and got kind of a cold, so I don't think it'll be that noticeable, but just in case, just wanted to warn you. So if you'd have to go back and watch some of my videos, you would realize that Call of Duty is one of my favorite game series of all time. And so I kind of wanted to make this video talking about how it's kind of evolved from when it started until now, just before Modern Warfare 3 is, starting to gain a little speed. So let's talk about that. The very first Call of Duty to be released was quite simply called Call of Duty. It was released in October of 2003, developed by Infinity Ward and published by Activision. It takes place in World War II, much like the first three Call of Duty games. The first one took place in World War II. The first one had quite a few expansion packs. There was Call of Duty United Offensive, and a lot of people, myself included, consider this game to be one of the best of all time. Not Call of Duty, one of the best video games of all time. Or if not video games, then first-person shooters for sure. Because it kind of, sparked Call of Duty as a franchise and made it into what we know today. The second Call of Duty to be released was Call of Duty 2. And I know personally, I definitely think that this Call of Duty is the best Call of Duty that has ever been made. It had a combination of all kinds of things that just made it something special. And I don't know exactly what that is. All I know is that's what I felt when I played it. Like I mentioned, this one also takes place in World War II, and it too isn't developed by Infinity Ward. It didn't really change a lot between 1 and 2, but for, like I said, whatever reason, Call of Duty 2 just clicked with me. And a lot of other people. You can talk to a lot of other people and they will say the exact same thing. The single-player campaign lets you see through the eyes of Red Army soldiers, British Army soldiers, and of course the United States military. It was released in 2005 for PC, and was also released for the Xbox 360 in 2005. Just like less than a month after it first came out, it was released for the Xbox 360. And I guess that's really about it for Call of Duty 2. Definitely, if you're kind of new to the Call of Duty series, you came in maybe, COD 4, COD 5, Modern Warfare 2, whatever, I would strongly recommend going back to... You can find Call of Duty 2 in plenty of, whatever, used video game stores, probably on eBay, whatever. Go back, give this one a shot, because you will like it. I can almost guarantee you will like this game. Very good game. That's Call of Duty 2. Call of Duty 3 is where Call of Duty starts to evolve a bit. And it was still World War II based, but it was made by a different developer. This is where Treyarch stepped in and made a Call of Duty game. Like I said just before, also a World War II game, and it was released in 2006. And it was the first Call of Duty game made not to be developed by Infinity Ward. Like I said, Treyarch stepped in on this one. And it was released on every platform, basically. Pretty much everything you can think of. And this one follows the American Army, the Canadian and British Army, the French Resistance, and the Polish armies, which I thought was really cool because the Polish, being a World War II history buff myself, the Polish contribution to, defeating the Nazis was not, it's not recognized as much as it should be in history or in World War II based games. So I was really happy with this one because it mentioned the Polish army. As a history person, this one was very pleasing to me. Also very good. That's about really all I can say for Call of Duty 3. Once again, it did not change a whole lot from Call of Duty 2. Call of Duty 3 is equally as good as Call of Duty 2, but it often doesn't come out that way. It just needed a little bit more pizzazz to it that wasn't given to it. Then it would have been up on Call of Duty 2's level, maybe even better, if I do say so myself. So, very good. Now, let's move on to something else. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare is where Call of Duty really began to change. The people at Infinity Ward must have noticed that the World War II first-person shooter games were getting stale. They, while they were good, people just kind of wanted something a little bit different. So they went away from World War II, and they made a game set in modern times. Not based on any, true story or anything, but it was based in modern times. It was actually set in 2011, interestingly enough. And so, like I said, this one was made by Infinity Ward, where the prior game, Call of Duty 3, was made by Treyarch. And this is kind of where we see the year-by-year rotation. Infinity Ward makes one, Treyarch. This is where that starts. And at least I felt this way when, this is where Call of Duty kind of started to drift away from the single-player campaign being the meat of the game. This time it's the multiplayer. The multiplayer, no doubt, was the meat and potatoes of Call of Duty 4. And also, interestingly enough, this was the first Call of Duty to receive a mature rating. And I just thought I'd throw that in there. No reason why, really. This game, too, was released for just about every platform you can think of, and it was released in 2007. Definitely, this one is one of the better Call of Duties. I know I said Call of Duty 2 is probably the best, but I would probably give, it's a close contest between COD 2 and COD 4. They're very, very good games, and they always have been, and they always will be. Unfortunately, I would still love to play the COD 4 multiplayer, but it's just overrun with hackers. It's not realistic anymore. So, yeah, that's COD 4. After COD 4, Treyarch, for whatever reason, took Call of Duty back to its roots and made yet another World War II game. This one was titled World at War, and it was, as you can guess, the 5th installment of the series. It was released in 2008, and it takes place in the Pacific Theater and Eastern Front of World War II. And that's cool. It covered all aspects of World War II, which is cool. But, when I heard that it was going to be World War II game, like I said, I am a World War II history buff. That is my main period of history that I've studied to know, and I'm still studying. But with the smash success that COD 4 was, and quite frankly still is, to see that Call of Duty was going back to World War II was, I don't know, I just kind of got that bleh feeling. But then the game released, and of course I got it, and I enjoyed it. I really, truly enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good World War II game, and it's one of the better ones. It's not It's not up there, but it's a pretty good game. It's a good game. Multiplayer's fun. The single player campaign was full of all kinds of action, along with that epic music. It's hard for me to get into a game without epic music. COD 5 had that epic music. So this is a good game, I think. After the success of Call of Duty 4, I really think Infinity Ward realized what they had with the Modern Warfare series. So in 2009, they brought Modern Warfare back in the form of Modern Warfare 2. This game pretty much follows the same kind of design as COD 4 does. Single player campaign was short but sweet, very sweet. Like I mentioned with COD 5, it had that epic music that really helped me get into the game a lot more. So the single player campaign doesn't last very long, but the experience is something. It's really cool. The multiplayer experience is probably the most addicting in the Call of Duty series. I still play it to this day. Choose actually to play it over Black Ops even. And that's aside from all the, overpowered issues there were with the, commando and the bling and the 360 backflip, 180 no scopes. If you're having a bad day, that can get frustrating, but it makes for great montage material, let me tell you. The engine was actually a modified engine that they used. They took the COD 4 engine and they modified it. They pretty much revamped the whole thing, made it that much better. And, this is definitely a good game. I would probably put this in the top 5 Call of Duties of all time. The multiplayer was great. They had a great diversification of weapons, and everything worked out really smoothly with this game. Aside from all the balancing issues, the multiplayer was awesome. The single-player campaign was, fast-paced and addicting. Just a great all-around Call of Duty. A great all-around game. Black Ops for me is interesting. When it first came out and I played it, I didn't like it. I didn't like it much at all. But over this past summer, I didn't see my friends a whole lot. At all, actually. But we played Black Ops together all the time. All the time. And during that time, I just got more and more and more into Black Ops. Aside from those abominations that were the AK-74U and FAMAS, although the FAMAS has been patched, the AK-74U is still an abomination. I enjoy it a lot, and it's different from past Call of Duties. It plays differently, but it's still got that same Call of Duty feel that Call of Duty players have come to know and love. There's a lot of people that don't like it. The quickscoping community despises this game because, well, you can't quickscope in it with the L96 and other sniper rifles. I'm not sure about that. But for sure the L96, but you have to be good at it. It's not as, it's not as easy as it was in Modern Warfare 2. Really, the multiplayer is fun. It's just fun. Still not a big fan of the single-player campaign. I like the time period that it was set in, but it just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It was something different, but it just didn't make a whole lot of sense, if that makes any sense at all. I play the multiplayer almost daily. And I just came to like it more and more, and I don't know why. I can't explain why. But that is Black Ops for me, and it's not the best Call of Duty by any means, but it's good. It's not a bad game by any means. Thanks for watching, everybody. That's all for this time.